Well, good morning, guys. This week's going to be a bit challenging. I'm going to get another set of leaf springs put on the back suspension, which means, because of the way I put the tanks in, I've got to pull all the tanks out again, which is a pain in the butt. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the distance between the wheel arch on both sides of the back and see what difference it is once I've got the extra leaf spring on the back, see if it makes a difference. I'm hoping it will, just lift it up a little bit. I'll also show you underneath what the leaf springs look like at the moment and see what they look like when we get the new one. Alright, so basically from the ground to the wheel arch is 790. If we take it from the middle of the tyre, which is about 350-ish, so let's take it up from the tyre itself, and we've got a rough clearance of about 80. That's on the driver's side. Yep, 790 and about 350 for the middle. So both driver and passenger side are the same distance, so we'll see what happens when we get the new leaf spring put on. Okay, so there's the rear leaf spring, an extra one put on there. So we'll see what it looks like when we get it back. I'll also get them to check the the shock absorbers to see if they need doing. Hopefully they won't, but if they do, we may as well get it all done at the one time. So the grey water tank's on this side and the fresh water tank's on the other side, and we've got the black water tank on this side to get out, which I'm not looking forward to doing that one at all. But I just want to measure to see how much room we've got at the moment. From memory, the tank is 300 high. And we've got, this is hard to do while you try and hold the phone. We've got about 250 clearance at the moment. So we're going to have to come up a little bit to be able to get it out. Pretty sure it's 300. Yeah, it's 300. Alright guys, I've got it up. I've got it sitting on concrete pavers. I've also got jack stands underneath the frame as well, so it'll have to bust through the jacks and the concrete pavers to fall, so I'm pretty confident we should be fine on that. On that note, for the jacks, I'd like to thank my nephew Lachlan for allowing me to use these for a while so I can get these tanks out. So thanks, mate. And now I'm going to get under there and start getting off the hoses from the connection. So got the trusty hairdryer out to heat them up so I can pull them off. Once I've got all those connections off, then I'm going to get my jack, put it under the under the tank, undo all the screws, and then just lower it down. There's now 400 mil between the ground and the bus frame, so the tank is only 300 mil, so I should have no problem there. And the black water tank's up higher than that, and it's not as deep either, so that one should be pretty easy, though that's going to have some added problems with that, as you understand, being a blank tank. Alright guys, it'll be on time lapse so you can have a look, and let's get into it and get these tanks out. Alright guys, I've got all the hoses off now. These two weren't too bad. This one up here, it's a 25mm hose, and because I put it all together when the floor was off, not thinking I'd ever have to take it down, I put the clamps on the wrong way, so that was a struggle, and I can't get enough leverage to pull the hose off. The 19mm one next to it was okay, so what I've done is up here I've taken the 25mm one off, which I should be able to pull down through here, and that way get the tank out. So I've taken the two ones down the bottom and sensor out as well, which I'll put the new bung in while I've got the tank out, so this will screw in easy and nice and clean. So now I'm going to get the jack under the tank, and I'm going to loosen off all the bolts, and all the nuts, and get this tank out. So this is the grey water tank, so we hopefully have it out in the next 20 minutes, and then we can move on to the next one. Okay guys, once I got the bolts, the nuts off, and just started lowering the jack, it popped out pretty easy, and it's not too heavy. So what I'm going to do now is I'll take it out the back, we'll fix up the hose pipe that's hanging down, so when we go on Wednesday to get it done, it's not going to be in the way, and also the sensor that's hanging down, I'll fix that up. So that's one tank done. The one I'm dreading is the blank tank, which is next up online. G'day guys, this is the black tank, the one I was regretting getting out. It hasn't been fun, a few dry fees, but it's all out now, so which is good. Alright guys, I've got all the tanks out now. The fresh water's gone, the grey water and the black water is, and there you can see the leaf springs. From my knowledge, they're supposed to have a bit of a bend in them, which it hasn't, so hopefully adding another one, I don't know whether they can add two or not, but we'll see when we go there. So it's all ready now to go and get that replaced or added onto. G'day guys, well I'm just in at Carrolls Suspension. I'm getting a set of new leaf springs on the rear suspension of the bus, so hopefully this will help with lifting it up a little bit and also make for hopefully a smoother ride. I think, I'm not exactly sure, but anyway, that's where I'm at. Carrolls Suspension. It's in one of the suburbs of Brisbane. So anyway, once I get the bus back, I'll show you what's happened. Alright guys, I've just got back from having the the springs done. So what I'm going to do is turn it around and I'll measure it and see how we go. I noticed as I was driving home, when we turn the corners, there's not as much roll in the bus. It also seems to sit higher in the butt of the bus when I'm driving, and doesn't, when you go over bumps, it doesn't bounce up and down all the time, so that's really good. So let's turn around and see what it is with the measurements. So for memory, the measurement was around about 790 from the driveway to the wheel arch. Look at that, it's nearly at the same spot, about 735, so it's nearly lifted at 50mm up which is amazing. I could feel it. Let's just have a look at here to here. Yeah, see, that was, I think it was, from memory, was about 80. And we're at, what, 120 now. So there's a big difference in how it's lifted it up. Let me show you underneath if I can. My pipe's fallen down. That's a bugger. You're going to have to fix that up. But you can see the leaf springs there. Now, and over on the far side as well. So I'm very happy with how that's turned out. I'm quite impressed. So if you haven't done it, it might be worth doing it in your bus. When I came up the driveway, I didn't bottom out either like I usually do. So when I reverse next time, hopefully I won't hit the road as I reverse out, which would be nice. Okay guys, we've got the bus back and I've got all the tanks in now. That was a bit of a process to get everything back in. So there you go, there's the fresh water. No, that's the grey water, Andrew. Fresh water's over the other side. That was a bit of a problem getting in because I had to lift it up a bit higher because it was a bit low for where I did it, because I used a jack last time, so it was a bit different. You can see the leaf spring and the black water tanks in as well. So I'm very happy with how it's ended out with the extra leaf springs. As I said, I went to Carrolls Springs and Suspension in Wacol. It's a suburb of Brisbane South, out towards Ipswich. So if you want to give them a ring to find out about it, if you're in the Brisbane area, I'll leave the details down in the comments below. Once again, this wasn't a sponsored video. As usual, I've paid for everything myself. Anyway, I hope your build's going well. We're getting closer to the end of our builds, which is good. We've just got to keep going. It's all the little fiddly bits that have got to get done. I've got some exciting news. We got our cabin air conditioner come through from China, so I'm going up to my brother's to get that installed in the next couple of weeks. So you'll see that video and I'll give you all the details about the air conditioner once it's installed and I've had a chance to run it to make sure it's good. I don't want to tell you to buy something if it's not good. Also, I do a thing on the sensors as well. I've had a little bit of an issue with the sensors, but I'll run through all that in another video for you. So for this video, guys, we're going to call it a day. I hope you have a great week and we'll talk to you in the next video. All right, guys, catch you later. Bye.